This is a quick lesson to take you from the vector equation of a straight line to the Cartesian equation of a straight line. We're working in 3 dimensions here. So you know straight away that the vector equation of a line is r equals a plus tb, where a is a point which the line passes through and b is the direction vector of the line. So if I just expand that, my r stands for the x, y, z coordinate of my point. Position vector a will have 3 components. T is just a parameter, and b will have 3 components. So now if I read across each of these 3 lines, this is really just a way of arranging 3 separate equations in one. This is x equals a1 plus t times b1, y equals a2 plus t times b2, and so on. I get these 3 equations here, which are really simply summarized in vector form in these earlier versions. Now if I rearrange the algebra of each one of these equations to make t the subject, I can express t in 3 different ways. But because it's the same t in each case, of course, well, t must be equal to t must be equal to t. So this t must be equal to that t must be equal to that t. It's all the same t. So if I use the right-hand sides of the equations, x minus a1 equals y minus a2 over b1 equals y minus a2 over b2 equals z minus a3 over b3, where the numbers on the top of this Cartesian equation represent the components of the point which the line passes through, and the numbers on the bottom represent the components of the direction vector of the line when the equation is given to you in this format. And in the next example you'll see how the examiner will try and just juggle things around a little bit to give it to you in a slightly different format. So first example here, really simply laid out. So x minus 3 over 2 equals y minus 7 over 2 equals z minus 1 over 5. It's laid out in exactly the format we had. So that means that the line passes through 3, 7, 1 in direction 2, 4, 5. So here it is in vector format, r equals 3, 7, 1 plus t into 2, 4, 5. And this is what it would look like. It would go through that point in that direction. Now what the examiner will try to do is just muck around a little bit with the algebra and see if you can cope with it. So for example, they might try a couple of the tricks shown here. So instead of x minus something over something, they'll just give me x, which is obviously really the same as x minus 0 over 1. Instead of y minus something over something, they'll give me y plus something over something, which is derived from y minus negative 1 over 4. So that's how you get this one into the format that you want. It's minus a negative 1. Or else they won't give me the format that I want, which is z minus something over something. They'll give me 2z. Well, 2z is the same as z divided by a half. So that's how I deal with that one. I divide the top row by a half and I put a denominator of a half. So now I've got it into the right format. It's a straight line passing through 0, minus 1, and 3 over 2 in direction 1, 4, a half. So the vector equation of that line would look like that.